Hello, everybody, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, your executive producer here, and thanks for tuning in to watch or listen to whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to. In these trying times, we really do appreciate everyone that feels that we are worth their time, and we hope that we're able to give you something entertaining to while away the time as you spend it. We particularly want to thank those of you that feel like we're worth financially contributing to, particularly our $25 and up supporters on Patreon, who are Antitonic, Drevian Alexander, Cat Waterflame, Rowan Parker, and Samantha Bates. Yes, I read that off of a list. Thank you very much for supporting us. I know that in these uncertain times, finances are tough for everybody, so that you're willing to donate to us means a lot to all of us here, and we thank you. That being said, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. We're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to In Grover Green, the Changeling the Lost Chronicle that we're running here on Final Show Films. My name is Jack. I am once again your storyteller for the evening, and I am joined by Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm playing Lark, Beast Windwing.
And William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Phage, the Ogre Gristle Grinder.
And Jeremy.
Hi, my name is Jeremy. I am playing Megan Lansing, Ferris Draconic.
And John.
I'm John, and I'm playing Roll20, remember my goddamn password. Also, Akujin, the ogre metal flesh blood brute.
There you go. 3 words. You got it. And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing this, the Wizened Oracle.
I do like John's new nickname for his character.
Right. And last time we were in Baltimore.
Roll20.
Roll20, remember my goddamn
Sorry,
password?
I'm sitting here trying to remember if I said anything other than the 2 things I said.
Nope,
and I was
nope,
like, wait,
nope.
what?
But last time we were in Baltimore, the Motley Unlikely held a wake for Adele and Mira, primarily attended by the Autumn Court. The Changelings of Baltimore spent some time memorializing their fallen and sharing memories and songs to honor the departed. Leaders of the Spring and Summer Court were also present. Phage spoke with Papa Sledge about their need to further prepare for the rising conflicts with Creed Gracie's Goblin forces, and Sledge agreed to share some supplies and what intelligence could be gathered if the Unlikely in turn delved further into the Queen's history to provide some insight into their foe. They also spent some time in the company of Megan Lansing, a spring courtier recently met by Lark on one of her performance gigs. But earlier in the day, however, Akujin struck out to do some investigation of his own, searching for information on the Squires of the Broken Bow and their last known representative in the area, a changeling named Walter Gray. And as he drives toward Greenmount Cemetery in East Baltimore, his Jeep hits a pothole and the radio station abruptly changes. Hey there, siblings. Have you ever, sat back and actually considered the term chill? I don't know where it comes from, but it just works, not running around, getting all hyped out and shit, but and it's cold and whatnot. And it works for this season too, because everybody just needs to take a breather and just take a minute to figure out where you sit and what's going on. And so chill, man. Just chill. And that's what's up with DJ Etzel today. I am chill. Also, there was something else I needed to say. All right. Blasts of January. Yeah.
As soon as it came on, I pulled out my phone, turned to Spotify, and put a playlist on speaker, and just shoved it in the little you know how when you have a certain kinds of dash have like multiple areas where you can put multiple different tape decks for like if you need a CB radio and things. One of those is empty, so I put my phone in that to drown out the sound of Etzel talking.
Cool.
Why do you all hate the radio so much?
It's not the radio; it's the ghost in the radio.
I think it's funny you think that's gonna help because
Yeah.
Adele tried everything.
Yeah, no, nothing gets drowned
Nothing
out
works.
until that ends.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, but you know, Akashin had been dealing with it as long as Adele had been.
She
Sure.
didn't stop breaking radios because she knew it hurt Alyssa's feelings. She stopped because she knew it was ineffective.
And after that is finished, your music from Spotify rolls back on and restores some level of auditory equilibrium to whatever environment you're attempting to create.
I assume my
here in-
radio kicks back over too, so I stopped the Spotify playlist.
But you have parked now outside of Greenmount Cemetery, which you were informed was one of Walter Gray's old haunts.
Would I
It's
have
quiet.
Would I have been able to at any point in time acquired like a specialty guitar case or like a piano case?
A piano case for like carrying a piano.
Yeah. Like I don't know if you've ever
a
seen
fucking piano.
I don't know if you've
What
ever
is a
seen
piano case? You're gonna have to explain
He's
this.
referring to a
It's like-
keyboard.
I guess it'd be a
case.
keyboard
Oh,
case.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm like an upright piano. I don't
I'm
care how
thinking
many
of-
dots of strength you have.
I'm thinking of like, you know, the big fucking like 8-foot long rectangular boxes that people carry standing keyboards in, I guess is what would be the correct terminology.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. One of those.
I like the idea. No keyboard, but you do have a guitar case.
It doesn't matter.
No guitars, no keyboards.
So long as it's
Just-
basically as tall as me and rectangular, I don't care. If I was
Okay,
So
Antonio
basically,
Banderas.
you're looking for something in which you can conceal a Zweihander.
Yes.
Basically,
Yes.
is what you're
Uh,
after.
I was gonna say as a particular Eagles song starts playing in the background.
How many dots of resources do you have?
now I have 4. Now I have 3.
3? Sure. Yeah, you can wrangle up an instrument case that can conceal your Zweihander if you need to just wander around with it. It's World of Darkness. That sort of shit comes with, the territory.
Yeah, and also because of the thing I'm trying to do, I do need to just wander around with it. So,
If somebody asks you what instrument you play and they ask you to set it up and play, unfortunately, there's going to be a problem here.
look at me. Is anyone going to ask me what instrument I play?
Here's the thing. Musicians are not, public servants. They can say, "No, I'm busy," and keep walking.
Also, when they look like they can cave your skull in, you typically don't behave like a jackass in front of them.
Hopefully not.
You haven't seen some of the crowds I've seen.
Anyways,
But yes, you have a case in which you can carry a Zweihander without it being publicly visible or open to comment, per se.
so I get out, park the Jeep, turn it off, get out of the Jeep, grab the keyboard case that carries my Zweihander, hang it over my shoulder, and I'm going to. So I'm just going to stand there for a second and take a look around, and see if there's anything that seems off to me. That might be something mundanes can't see.
Not from initial view.
Yeah.
It's a graveyard. It's kind of built up on raised earth, but at street level there is a wall, there is barbed wire and a fence, that sort of thing. So it's not like you can just walk in, walk out. But at the moment, it seems like a run-of-the-mill graveyard for the most part.
Cool. Sorry, I missed like the middle part of that sentence because my brain went.
Yeah.
Did you say it's not like I can walk in and walk out, or like I have to walk in and walk out in very specific areas?
There, any foot access, any foot traffic access, there are specific gates and access points to the
Right.
cemetery. Yeah,
It's not an open concept cemetery. It's more of a guided tour.
more of a directed access cemetery. Yeah.
Okay. Does it seem like I'll be able to get in at all?
Oh yeah, it's like you just have parked and there's some level of access, but
Cool.
yeah, no, it's open.
I will go in then and start wandering, seeing if I don't have enough information to look for anything specific. So I'm more looking for what might attract a changeling to this place.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a wits and composure.
Wits composure. 0 successes.
So as you walk around, the main things that you're noting are
7 6 5 3 1.
Yep. The main things that you're noticing that in your mind could be attractive to a changeling about this area, it's quiet. Like you've been to your odd cemetery before. This one seems to be the sort of place where you could spend time even in a large city like Baltimore and not necessarily have to run across a lot of people. It's quiet, it's isolated, and it's its own little microcosm of silence, sort of. Even in a quiet season like winter, where most people are feeling the draw to not necessarily be out and around and heavily active in the cityscape. This is an isolated spot. As you're walking, you see maybe 2 or 3 people, all of whom are obviously groundskeepers and workers who are just shoveling snow, clearing paths, that sort of thing for the most part.
Is there any amount of like verticality to this space, or is it all fairly flat?
There's some topography to it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just casually walking through and just getting the feel for the place. I'm gonna head to the highest point.
Okay. You just keep going as uphill as your feet can take you. You know, it's not too hard to follow the paths and look. The trees are of course mostly bare at this point, so visibility is pretty easily determined, and takes you about 20-30 minutes or so of walking. The case begins to feel a little heavy, not wearisome per se. You're not necessarily running out of breath, but that weight begins to wear just a little bit, and you find yourself standing at a point in the kind of southern half of this largely rectangular cemetery layout, just looking over the mounds of snow, the various slopes and hills that make up what's here.
Gonna find a bench, like whatever bench has the best view of the rest of the graveyard.
Okay.
Sit on it, put the case down, just look out, mutter to myself. Okay, Walter Gray, I'm here. What did you see? I just look around.
As you're looking, there are a number of points that you can pick up of little mausoleums, small arches, places where trees grow over a footpath or even a little paved access road. Based on your knowledge of Gray and the sort of self-appointed patrolman that he's been reputed to have been, there are a number of places here that could have been used as gates, access to the hedge.
Is there one?
As you're sort of looking for the tactical layout of the land, it's not really like there's clustered or anything that would function as a primary.
Is there any that I can see from here, like place that might serve as a doorway, that is more hidden from the rest of the cemetery than others? Like a place that's like, if I wasn't up here, I wouldn't necessarily be able to see it.
There are a couple little hollows in the landscape in this, because it's about 8 or 10 blocks of length in its longest dimension, but there's a few.
And do any of those have like structures, like a mausoleum or something in it?
There's one that, from where you're seated, is kind of more towards the northern end, where you can see a sort of a roof of what you would assume is a mausoleum structure.
And then just one last look to see if there's anything that anything other than that draws my eyes from this location.
Give me just another wits and composure then, since you've changed position from there.
Three successes this time.
With 3 successes, besides that mausoleum, there's a cluster of outbuildings as well that are kind of tucked away in a corner that look more like they're maintenance structures rather than, features of the cemetery's main function itself.
And would those be closer or further away than the first place?
Further away.
Okay, so I'm basically gonna, from here, I'm gonna circle through the mausoleum or through the cemetery, heading towards those 2 locations, the closest to furthest, and then stopping to inspect when I get there.
Okay, sounds good. You drift around, taking a look, and eventually find your way approaching this mausoleum. It's the kind of gray sandstone and granite, not the standard marble that is so frequently affiliated with cemeteries in general, but this one seems to be something a little more designed as far as that goes. Marble tends to wear, especially in wetter climates, like the Eastern Seaboard.
And I don't know, is a place having been used in the past as an access point to the hedge a thing you can feel as a changeling, or is it just you have to try it and see?
Not really. The way gates work, you can use whatever you want.
Yeah.
As long as it's basically got 3 sides to it, if it's got two sides and a lintel over top, you can open it into the hedge. When something's been used repeatedly and regularly, that's when it'll start to have its own presence. But it would have to have some level of consistency and regularity to it, and not have been actively concealed.
Would I be able to sense that at all?
Potentially. What's your weird rating right now?
2.
2? It's gonna be rough on that. It would have to be something pretty strong. Okay. and for somebody that way. Usually you have to have a rank of 4 if not higher, before things start to really pop out at you.
Take a minute to breathe.
Okay.
Is there a door to this, or
Oh yeah, there's a doorway access to this thing.
And as I understand it, opening a gate, it doesn't matter if the door is locked. I can still open it as a thing to the. Would I have to be able to physically open the door to open it to the hedge, or no?
No, you wouldn't have to have a usable door.
Yeah.
Right. You can, but it's one of those things. You open a gate to the hedge, of course, it's open.
Yeah.
Mm.
For however long,
for however long. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Usually a round or two, unless you're really pumping it in there.
Look at it.
And as you're kind of observing this area, you hear the crunch of footsteps behind you. Hey there. What can we help you with? Looking for anybody?
Turn and look. This is a
guy in heavy work clothes that are well insulated, snow shovel over his shoulder.
Yeah. The family Gray.
Gray. Don't know that we have any Grays buried. You got a first name?
Walter.
We had a Wally Gray who used to work here, but that's a couple years gone.
No, just doing some genealogy, trying to find some lost tombstones. I sort of turn back and look at now I'm looking towards the direction of the sort of maintenance area now, just thinking about it.
Yeah, he vanished a while back. But he didn't really have any family here. He was just a laborer like me.
Yeah. He might be related to the people I'm looking for. Can you tell me about him?
Yeah. Black guy. Kind of kept to himself.
No family.
I mean, took the occasional leak on Booth's grave, like you would.
Yeah, fair enough. This guy seemed like he's just bored and looking to talk to somebody, or like he's genuinely...
Pretty much, yeah, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're kind of odd like he was, though.
Yeah?
You're a solitary fella, aren't you?
I've been told that.
Wally was solitary.
Wally was solid. This dude's drunk.
You get the idea that this is somebody who talks when they can, but hasn't had a chance to recently. You get the feeling that this is not the sort of job that promotes an active social life.
No. I just let him nod. Well, I guess I'll keep looking around for a little bit longer then.
Need anything? You got any questions? We can tell you who to look for.
Will do. Thanks.
Bye. Goes down and takes a turn on another footpath, looking for a place to shovel, probably.
Head towards those outhouses then.
Okay.
Relevant information. Wouldn't have used this.
As you walk down, there's it's a cluster of of sheds and storage, more or less. And there are just footprints through there. You can tell that this is probably where they stash most of the supplies and that kind of thing.
Is there any spot over here that looks less used than the others?
Yes. There's a few places that you can tell that have been recently accessed, if not today, at least in the past few days. And then, but there is one shed that is less frequently accessed, it seems. No, the snow is still packed around it. Nothing's been cleared out of it. Looks like just an outbuilding that hasn't been utilized as much, and it's a bit smaller.
Check and see if my friendly neighborhood gravekeeper is watching me or not.
Oh no, you left him behind.
Okay, cool. If there's nobody else nearby, I'm going to head over towards that one and see if I can get access to the door.
It's a door with a single padlock on it.
Look around and see if there's anything off about it.
Not that you notice, not from an initial investigation, just this is the one that is used the least and the least recently, based on casual observation.
I start muttering to myself, if I'm wrong, this will be bad. And I've got no way back if I'm wrong. I'm going to spend a point of glamour and try to open a door.
Okay.
Specifically that one.
All right. Reach a hand out and just touch. And there's that movement and change in its energy as you push through into the hedge as opposed to the physical door. Nobody's there to see how it happens, but you find yourself, after pushing through, standing in a tangle of heavy growth scattered with snow. Many, many vines and thorns and brambles on all sides.
Quick look around to see if there's any evidence of a hollow having ever been here or anywhere nearby.
So the thing about hollows that you know is that unless they are maintained, they are swiftly reclaimed by the hedge.
Okay.
So you're not entirely surprised to see that there's not Pooh's house sitting here or anything like that. But it's quiet. A different type of quiet. This is a slightly unnerving quiet, the creepy sort of quiet. You can hear the occasional whisper of wind, creak of plants bending under the weight of snow.
I'm gonna need some back. Turn to see if the door is still there.
Were you attempting to hold it open?
If possible, yes.
Okay. You can still then see through the gap where you came in. It's a definite difference from the wildness and
If I let that
what's
if I let that close, is there any way for me to open it again?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, yes. That is how gates work
Okay.
to the hedge. If you open a gate to a certain point of the hedge, that is where that gate will open in the hedge.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let it close then,
Okay.
knowing that I can reopen it.
Yeah. What's left behind is a particular kind of gap to an actual trod.
Oh,
there's a little bit of a path.
Like there's a path behind the door?
Yeah. That now that it is fully cut off currently from the real has displayed a footpath, you might call, or maybe a deer trail.
I'm going to walk down it.
Okay.
Noticeably
it twists.
noticeably controlling my breathing as anxiety begins to creep in.
No. It twists back and forth. Never more than a couple dozen feet visible at any point. But for all the sort of chaos and inherently mutable nature of the hedge, the way it changes from moment to moment, this, at least, in its nature as a hedge trod, stays consistent, albeit very, very narrow. You walk for a minute or two down, snow crunching under your boots. And it opens up to a slightly broader area. Maybe no more than 20 feet across, but with more visibility. A slight glen or glade. Angling sunlight comes down, breaking through just a couple openings, but cold light, as you'd expect for a winter area. And there's a small entry of like a thicket that has been pushed aside, and not quite a cave because it's not rocks, but a den maybe would be a better term for it.
Waiting for it to get bitten off, I'm going to poke my head into the den.
Okay. Looking in, there's a smell of kind of cold dampness. You hear a drip.
Hello?
Hello. Drifts away into the dim lighting.
Was that my voice echoing? I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay. Step in.
Give me a... So are you just looking for what's immediately apparent, or are you going to spend some time investigating this?
I'm going to spend some time investigating this area.
Okay. Give me a wits and investigation, then.
Worse than a wits and composure.
All right. You can spend willpower.
I will. One success.
Okay. You find a footlocker.
Is it locked?
Lid closed, fastened shut, but definitely from the reel. And it's buried under some leaf litter, but also covered over with some old kind of like packing quilts.
Was this the sort of thing that would have been reclaimed if it had been left alone long enough, or would it have held the space on its own?
This is just a very old object.
Yeah.
That's been left in what would qualify as the outdoors, but sheltered by the sort of enclosed nature of this little den, and just hasn't been disturbed for a while.
Okay. Let's see if I can open it up.
Give me
actually, the lock's metal, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to the metal and see if I can't convince it to change, to either unlock itself or just melt away.
Okay.
My control elements ability.
All right. What's your dice pool for that contract?
4. It's manipulation and weird.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that then.
I'll spend a willpower on it.
Okay.
2 successes.
Manipulation weird +3. 2 successes. At your touch, as you push in that influence, that affinity for metal that you have, there's a slight resistance and an inquiry of who? Who are you?
I'm Akujin.
Friend?
As much as can be.
And then a click. And the lock opens.
Yep.
Looking inside, there's a number of things in here, and most of them very, very worn. There's a couple pieces of clothing, a few bits of long, decayed supplies. What was probably once food or rations, and a cache of metal fragments, bits of spikes, gears, scraps. And a journal.
Very carefully so as not to disturb anything else. I'm
Mhm.
going to grab the journal.
Okay. Flipping through it, scrawls of writing that have mostly been washed away from time. But it's a record of a couple weirdly drawn bits of stuff that, oh god, sorry, blood sugar. I will be right back.
This early.
I know, right?
Hello.
He's got a
Greg.
head rush.
No, he needs to insulin.
Yeah.
This this gap in performance.
No,
brought
keep
to
it
you
going.
by-
I found an apple.
There we go.
Yeah. Not insulin, the way around.
Yeah, right. But it seems to be what was left behind from what would more or less be known as a hedge ranger, the sort of person who, as a changeling, just does patrols and spends a lot of time protecting, scouting, and learning about the aspects and nature of the local regions of the hedge in this area.
Does it seem like probably like Gray's journal or like somebody else's journal? The Gray's?
Yeah, Gray's journal.
Knowing that, I'm going to look at the bits of metal that are like sort of scattered about the interior of the lockbox. I'm not going to try to like coax them into doing anything, but I would like to see if I can get an answer out of them.
Okay.
I want to try to see if I can determine if this is their original state or if they were changed in this from something else.
This is it takes a couple minutes, but
Yeah.
yes, this was their original state.
Okay, so it was just a random collection of spikes and gears and things, and not something else
Yeah.
that was changed. Okay.
Right. But talking to them. And you know that this is not the sort of conversation that you would generally be able to have with metal that's just been sitting around for a long time.
You know,
This is the conversation
we're
that
in
you
the
can
hedge.
have specifically, right, because you're in the head.
this metal is now semi-sentient.
A little bit.
Okay.
Name yours.
Akujin.
Right. Gray? Where?
Lost. Looking for him.
Long time gone.
Sorry, the beginning of that was lost to the ether.
Long time gone.
Was that a question or an answer?
Answer.
Okay.
It was an answer.
Know where he went?
No.
Do you want to stay or leave?
It doesn't seem to have a preference. Notes.
Have them.
Underneath. And following that hint. because the journal is mostly garbled and
Yeah.
very, very weathered, and you can only make out the odd word every page. But under the rest of the materials and mostly useless garbage that's in the trunk, you find a file folder. With an oddly drawn or a weird diagram of a hedge location. Looks like a scribble of kind of like a map, but very, very small scale, only opening a maybe a couple dozen feet in dimensions, of a hedge location that references a Rawlings, Rawlings, trod. And there's a couple X's of certain indicated locations in this open clearing that's apparently just off the Rawlings trod, with an access point and these cones. Give me a intelligence and it's not really a good science, actually. Do you have any dots in science?
No.
Oh, this is gonna hurt then. A chance die, probably then.
It is.
Okay.
It's a 2. So no.
Okay. You have no way. You don't know how to make head or tail of this little diagram. Then. But it's definitely a drawn diagram. You would assume from the person.
I
who
need
used
to
use
show this
storage.
to Liss. Or Phage. And Phage.
Turns out it was just a Venn diagram.
Akushin no smart book read. I'm gonna dump the rotten food.
Okay.
And close put the journal and the notes back into the footlocker, close the footlocker, pick it up, and take it with me as I leave. These are my friends now.
All right. Yeah, it's maybe it's probably about 2.5 feet long.
Yeah, so that's under my arm.
Maybe, and then like, yeah, a foot in the other 2 dimensions.
So I'm going to take it. I'm going to follow this trod back to the door and
Okay.
open it up and leave.
Okay.
I believe we require another dot of glamour, another point of glamour.
Yes.
And once I'm back out in the real, look down at the lockbox. I'm gonna put you in my Jeep, so you're gonna see a lot more stuff and have a lot more friends.
It's not too hard to avoid any observation. Very still nobody in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Get back to your Jeep, load up your stuff, and drive away.
Put the lockbox, and I basically put the lockbox under the back seat, so it's not. It's inside. It's safe, and also it's surrounded by metal, so it can have a nice conversation with the non-sentient metal.
Okay. Sounds good. Where are you heading back to now that it is dark?
Do I have any idea how long the wake was going to be, or when it was taking place?
It was going to last most of the evening now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go back. Where was it at?
The crack house.
All right. I'm basically gonna park down the street from the crack house and wait until everyone leaves. Everyone that isn't part of the motley.
So the last person you see drive away is a spring courtier, yeah, on a motorcycle.
Yep.
So many people ride motorcycles in this weather. That's really fucking unsafe. I just mutter to myself.
That's almost like it's the point.
That's the guy in charge of a motorcycle gang.
Who is
Right?
pointedly driving a Jeep right now with his motorcycle in the back.
Shit.
It's almost like I know what fucking happens to people that wipe out on an icy road in a motorcycle.
They have lived.
They had lived, yes. Not anymore. Once folks head out, I'm gonna grab the lockbox, grab my keyboard case, and head into the crack house.
Okay. So you have the aftermath of a wake and a now wrapping up sort of conversation, and because my diabetes-addled brain can't remember, we're just going to say you show up where we left off last week.
Good, because I don't know where it was.
Quite frankly, neither do I, and I was there last week.
Oh goodness.
So-
It was shortly after I read the letter, and then we were all like on the floor.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
That was
And-
basically
It was
how
very
it
nice.
ended.
Yeah.
You're all on the
Yeah.
floor when the door opens up.
Hi.
Why are you all on the floor?
It was an emotional night.
I'd imagine. How'd it go?
You have a box.
I do. There are secrets in the box, too.
Okay.
How'd the wake go?
It was all right.
Well, when you're feeling up to it, I could use some help deciphering some of the secrets in my box here.
Yes. Oh, come on over. I don't really want to be sitting here. There are bodies over there. I'm avoiding that.
I will move. I will take the lockbox into the kitchen. Set it down, open it up, pull out the journal and the notes,
Ooh.
and
Oh,
put them down on the
goodness.
counter. This is the field kit of Walter Gray. He left a journal and that information.
That was
And
fast.
I was by myself and motivated. And there's a trod map there, but I no idea how to find it.
I'm looking at all of this.
Phage will look over Lys's shoulder as she pours through.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a.
Also, Akujin is idly petting the lockbox like he doesn't even realize he's doing it.
Oh, just like kind of gently stroking it.
Yeah, like it's like, you know,
Like-
It's a cat.
Or yeah. So yeah, it's a very faded, old, water-stained journal with most of the ink either smeared, washed out, molded away.
Written or
Lots
typed
of
up?
handwritten.
Okay.
And I don't know how you type in a journal, but yeah.
If it's like the binder kind of journal.
Oh yeah, no. This is like a like glue bound type
Okay.
journal. Yeah. Mhm. Not like a 3-ring binder type journal. And yeah, almost illegible on most pages.
Okay.
and these notes are for a place called Rawlings or Rawlings Trod, but I've got again no idea how to find it.
Okay. I don't think that connects to anything that I remember off the top of my head.
You give me a intelligence and
Science is what you had me roll.
well, that was for a different thing.
Ah.
That was for the diagram, interpreting the diagram itself. Actually, yeah, if you want to make an intelligence and science.
Sure.
yeah.
I got both of those.
Okay. One success. So the way the diagram is designed, there's a couple of arcs and angles in it.
Okay.
It looks like there are this looks like locations in a clearing in a trod, and the angles seem like angles of coverage or regions, like something that originates at indicated point A, B, and C, we'll say,
Mhm.
and then emanates out and
Yep.
covers associated regions A, B, and C with an amount of overlap.
Yep.
Like
Okay.
a direction up on an angle, and therefore with a certain arc of coverage.
Okay. Do any of them overlap, or are they kind of scattered, spaced further apart than that, or at different angles than that? And are any of the angles like, are they all the same, or just in every which direction?
We can't hear you for whatever reason.
That's because I was muted. They seem to be covering a centralized area originating from a couple points on its exterior perimeter.
Okay. Where'd you find this?
I found Walter Gray's what I think was his hollow, or what used to be his hollow, anyways. was there was a gate in the cemetery that he frequented in Greenmount Cemetery.
Okay.
Wait. Oh, duh. Sorry. There was entered the hollow, let the gate close behind me. Behind it there was a trod. Followed it to a clearing. There was a den. In the den was this lockbox with all this inside it.
Did you see any hollow trees?
Did I see any hollow trees?
No, it was mostly brambles, briars, thicket kind of
Nope.
thing.
Brambles, briars, thicket, no trees.
I have a secret too.
Less of a wood and more of a tangle,
Yeah.
as it were.
Is your secret that you have a hollow tree?
No, but someone else did. What's in the box? What else is in the box? You're petting it.
Oh, sorry. Is
Is there a ghost in there?
no, just friends.
Quince.
I open
kind
the
of
box and you
confusedly.
see there's just a bunch of metal bits and pieces inside.
Ooh, I look at those. There's gears and stuff. Does any of those look familiar to me? You're
You're
muted
muted
again.
again.
Go again. There I go again. Scraps of metal, a lot of worn, ragged cloth,
Hmm.
and you can give me a wits and investigation as well if you'd like to see if there's
Sure,
anything
let's
you
do
can
all
dig
the
up in the
things.
box that
They've
Akujin's single success did not reveal.
they've been in the hollow a long time. They've developed personality. Sorry, they've been in the hedge a long time. They developed personality.
One.
Yeah, no, mostly scraps and debris.
Any of them useful looking?
Oh yeah, they've stirred up really well. They seem to be
Ooh,
fairly shielded from moisture, so they haven't rusted a ton or anything.
those are nice.
Anyways,
No, this. I found this in a tree near there, and I'll pull out one of the lost letters, the 2014 one. I think is the one I found there. I'm pretty sure. And it basically, I can read it. 8/5/2014. Sorry to write so cryptically, but can't chance discovery. One of us is gone bad. It started last equinox. I do my round like always to check my gates. And I'll point at that part. He does rounds. These are paths. Just past Foster and Curly, just a few druggies and winos. Killian Hobbs were noisier than usual, sent them on the way. Sorry, useless detail. Anyway, then I saw 3 others stumbling down an
wait,
alley.
Killian Hobbs.
Type of hob.
Hobgoblins.
Killian. Around Killian
Okay.
is a street. Drunk out of their minds, plastered, lurched around toward the Fleet Street gate, and when I get there, they were gone. The gate buzzes weird, and they must have gone through. Thought about rescue, but the hedge was silent, and you know how booze and the thorns go. Couldn't risk it, so I keep going. 2 gates later, and the third one was just closing. Too coincidental for one night. Scan around and keep to shadows. Think I see one of the drunks turning the corner, so I follow, and she's walking off stone cold sober without a glitch. Not natural, not from the hedge. Drove away and I lost her. Shanks Mayor. Went back to the gate and checked it over, and it had damn well been opened from inside. Not gentry work, not hobgoblin either. Wait, her. Okay. Liz stops suddenly and makes a note on the side. The side of the paper. Her. Not hobgoblin either. One of us is privateering. You're the only one I eliminated so far, and that took 2 months. Can you help?
This might have been written by Gray. Does this match the handwriting that was in? First of all, is this handwritten or is this typed?
This is typed. That's
This is
why I
typed?
asked about the typing.
Oh.
Yep.
But does the writing style match?
Give me a intelligence and academics.
Okay.
Also, does that year match the time frame that I was told about Gray disappearing?
This date is before he disappeared.
So it would have been before he disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah.
6 successes.
Jesus Christ. Wow, look at
And
those
10,
10s.
10,
Yeah, I
10, 10,
know.
10, 10.
On 3 dice.
Exceptional
Holy
success.
shit. Yeah, no, goddamn. Looking at what little you can parse from the journal, yes.
Mhm.
Writing style
Yeah.
matches.
Yeah, same. He wrote this.
Does any of the streets that are referenced in this Jack, do any of them match up with the location of Sugar Ray?
Not Sugar Rays, no.
No. Okay.
They're in the same region, but none of them are directly.
I wonder if this
At that
trod is connected to any of those locations, or if it's connected to Sugar Ray's, which is the other place that he used to frequent.
Sugar Rays?
Does Rollins as a name?
Give me an intelligence and streetwise.
Hey.
Anybody who wants to try and place Rawlings.
Yeah. That I can do.
I'll try it. I've got egged out of Streetwise now.
I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Okay.
3 successes.
Liz is having a good night.
Yeah, this.
Oh wait, sorry, that's a chance talking.
Oh yeah. Change that back.
I need to actually do that right.
I have a success.
2 successes. 1, 2, 3.
Lark, you've never heard of it. Phage, it's a common last name. There's probably a number of streets and locations that are built out that might have a Rawlings in them in the area. The rest of you.
By rest of you mean me and Liz.
Yep. The other 2 of you know that there are a couple points in town that bear the name, specifically the conservatory at Druid Hill Park.
Another park.
The conservatory Druid Hill Park bears the name Rawlings.
Yep, there's the Rawlings Conservatory at Druid Hill Park.
Do you? Sorry, hang on.
Which is pretty much due north of where you are right now.
Yeah, and in that letter. Sorry, did that letter mention Druid Hill Park? I can't find.
No.
It won't open up for me again.
Oh.
I can't read it. Do you have anything that do you have any more of these that might mention Druid Hill Park? No.
But
There's a conservatory there, Rawlings, that might be related.
okay. But she puts her hand over the note and pulls it back.
Oh, I wasn't
That's
even
not-
holding it. I figured
Yeah.
I figured you were just showing it to me, and I was reading.
Yeah, fair. She clutches it back then. This isn't. How does this connect to Gracie?
I don't know that it does necessarily.
Yeah. And I'm sad tonight, so not tonight.
That's fine.
I love that Liz can't help right now because she has an appointment with being sad. But
Yes.
she can't double schedule
I'm
that.
busy. I've got it
I'm
booked
busy.
in.
A thing. I will reach over and grab the note, the notes of the trod itself. Look at it, close it, put it back in the lockbox.
Having had kind of some connections to some points, does that help at all with orienting the map in any sort of real or not really, because there's not really any.
Give me an intelligence and occult.
Okay. Two successes.
So looking at this little diagram, this is not a map in the sense of city scale, or this is like the map that a kid would draw of their backyard.
Okay.
So as far as you're thinking is this is very small scale, and based on the way it's drawn, you're thinking this is a location in the hedge as well.
Okay.
With
That all
2
the-
successes, you're thinking about what, because you were there with Akujin when he was doing the research on Squires of the Broken Bow initially in Tag's library. And knowing that he's kind of chasing down Walter Gray with that sort of specifics in mind, this almost looks like a battle plan or a deployment diagram or something like that. Those arcs might be like fields of fire or view sheds or something maybe. But yeah, it looks like, yeah, we're going to put something here. It'll have access to this region. We're going to put something here. It'll have access to this region kind of thing.
It's and basically the points around the perimeter, those are places in the hedge, I would think, not anything.
Right. And you're
Okay.
thinking like, yeah, no, this guy was trying to set up something at a clearing in the hedge at some point. To what purpose or for what, you don't know, but this looks like a battle plan, not a map per se.
This is tactics. I'll point. You would, I think, put the map away by that point, right?
Yeah,
She'll point it
there we go.
where you put it away. Like battleship. Ping.
So it might be that might be where they ended up going. I can't say for certain. I can't say for certain it's not connected, considering that he would spend his time defending the keyhole. There could be information that wherever he fell, but I can't say certain that it is.
5 years, maybe. But it's a lot. What we were talking about next bits. I'm tired. I don't know.
We're all very tired. It's about time for us to get some rest. We've got searching to do in the morning.
I wanted to dream.
Do you want some wine to help with that?
Don't know. Not. I want to know what's going on. Gracie reached out in a dream, or you reached her dream, or something. The water.
I don't know if that was her dream, but
Or an
her
echo,
memories.
or something.
Some sort of connection, yeah.
Yeah.
She might be really powerful, though.
I mean, she's commanding an army of hobgoblins. She almost certainly is.
I get the feeling that she's something like us, but wrong.
Or didn't make it out.
Or made it out
Didn't try
differently.
to. Oh.
I mean, the wrong brothers are like us, but they stay in the hedge. Doesn't it seem like it could be something similar?
No, even Phage would know. The wrong brothers are straight hobgoblins.
Oh, are they straight hobgoblins? Never
Oh
mind.
yeah, no, they're not.
Oh,
They're
okay.
not even remotely changelings.
Okay, never mind then. I had been under the impression that they were an ogre and a wizened that were just hanging around in the hedge.
Nope,
Never mind.
they're just a couple of fucking crazy ass
Couple of
hobgoblins that like
hops.
building shit.
Never mind then.
Couple of
no, you're fine.
hops.
Redacted.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
No, with the
need-
water, it felt like. With the water, it felt like she was spread across the hedge, and we were just sort of getting bits and pieces of that.
Yeah.
Kind of like,
Okay.
kind of like the me that's still there. where it's not what we are, but it's also not necessarily what we left.
Do you want your pieces back?
No.
Okay.
What's there isn't me. It's what they made.
Oh. Okay. I need a picture of her though. She was in the newspapers. Can someone help me with their phone? Like, oh wait, I have to go retrieve it, I think. Did I leave it somewhere? I can't remember. I thought I had left it at one point. Or that was way later. Or earlier. I go find my phone.
Probably up in your workshop somewhere.
Probably. I go find it and I bring it down. I'm trying to Google Gracie Arundel because there were news. She was a missing person, so I'm presuming there is some sort of photograph of her. I do not know if this will work. She may be way too far changed from that as a thing. But with my dream contracts, if I have an image of a person,
Well,
I can get in touch with them. Just why photographs are kind of iffy.
Give me an intelligence and computers -2.
Yeah, fair. And I don't have any dots in computers, so that's just a chance die.
Okay.
Chance die. Chance die.
Yeah, that's
you cannot find any pictures of Gracie Arundel. Even going back to the newspaper clippings and stuff that you or the newspaper articles and stuff. Weirdly, no pictures published in the paper.
Adele would have been able to find it.
If her whole thing, based on the information that we've gotten from the journals so far, is she's trying to establish her identity, but on a bigger scale. She's trying to build her family. She's trying to reclaim the things she can't get access to anymore. Possible she might have taken what she looked like already. And that might be why you can't find it.
You're surprisingly smart sometimes.
Yeah. I'm just working off fairy tale logic. Which seems to be the logic at play. So.
Generally.
Most of the time.
Okay.
I imagine if you're trying to dream about her, maybe think about her stories. You still got that book, don't you?
Yes. I'm not losing it.
Try that.
Okay.
Look over at Phage, and then sort of nod back out towards the living room. What are the plans?
Sorry, say that one more time. I missed that.
I look over at Phage and then nod with my chin back out towards the living room. What are the plans?
I don't think we know with Mira yet, but with Adele, quite frankly, it's to bury her in a haunted house.
Called it.
I don't know what Mira would want.
Isn't Adele's
She
house
was
haunted?
Yes, but I think the goal would be something that's actually intended to be used as a haunted house.
I mean, not to claim knowledge I don't necessarily have, but from Adele's perspective, isn't the purpose of a haunted house to be a house that has ghosts in it?
Eh,
I'd imagine her
Maybe.
house would fit the bill.
Fair.
Plus, we have to retrieve the cat.
We do need to find Casper.
So I guess we'll do that
Or
tomorrow.
bury it.
Lark will get up. I don't want to stay here tonight. I'm going to call an Uber. I'm going to go to Adele's place, or my place, I guess.
Your place.
Thank you, Ghost of Adele.
I can give you a ride if you want.
Go,
Yeah.
Ghost of Adele managing
Thank you.
finances.
As for Mira, did anybody from Winter show up?
Not that we saw. That doesn't mean they weren't there.
Buried in the snowdrift?
That's the funny thing about Mira was she was always so concerned with everyone else's happiness. We never really learned much about her.
Well, think about it. All right. I'll give you a ride, Lark. Anyone else want to come?
No, I'm staying here.
I'll be here.
All right. Well, keep an ear out in case the Hobbs try to come again.
Yep.
I know we've still got some summer boys watching that gate, but they might come from a different one.
Of course.
All right. Let's go. And I grab the lockbox.
Okay. So everybody's headed off to find a place to crash for the night. I would like everybody to roll me a D10.
I will end up sleeping in my Jeep outside Adele's house.
Okay.
7. 7, 7, 3, 8.
And Megan.
Sorry, you didn't clarify. I assume you meant everybody in the motley.
No, I meant everybody.
Okay.
You might get attacked by Hobbs too, Jeremy.
All right.
I don't know if high or low was the number you were looking for.
You don't know what I was looking for, or even if high or low was a factor.
You could have been looking for middle.
It's the number of
High and low don't matter.
it's the number of Hobbs coming
Comfort-
specifically for you.
I'm looking for the
Ah.
absolute value of the square root of
the highest value on the bell curve of die rolls is
right, exactly. Okay, so Liz, what are you trying to do with your dream tonight?
She's honestly probably just trying to keep it open to whatever influence there might be, either from Queen Gracie or, this is weird, but like Mira or Adele's ghosts or anything like that.
Okay.
She can't confront it in the real, but she can do it in a dream because that's safer for her.
All right. Go ahead and roll me wits and resolve.
Okay. Let's not do a chance die.
No.
3 successes.
Intensity 3 dream. Okay. And you're trying to leave it open rather than actively lucid dreaming and shaping your own.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Which I imagine is what she normally tries to do. Is
Okay. But you're also not actively attempting to enter any specific individual's
Yep.
dreams. You're just letting what happens happen.
Yep.
Okay. So everybody falls asleep at their various locations. Unless you drift off and then blink. Blink again. I forgot to roll for butterfly. Okay. And then your eyes slowly one and then the other, which is weird. Usually eyes open
Yeah.
together. Usually only one of your eyes is functioning. Right now you've got two, which is a little disorienting. And you are standing on a field of snow.
Okay.
Slopes down in all directions from where you're standing currently. It's a rapid wind that kind of cuts past your ears. Not cold. You can't really feel no sense of temperature right now. If you were out in the real, you would feel like this is probably like a glacier on a mountaintop or something like that. Is kind of what sort of aspect you're getting currently. And then there's a shudder as the ground underneath your feet begins to shake.
Oh.
The snow sort of drifts and slides one direction and another. This particulate substance disturbed by this immense vibration. Akajin, you fall asleep. Your eyes slam shut and it's just dark. Pitch black. And ever so gently, something begins to fall away from your eyes. And you feel like you're being pushed upward through beach sand almost, or something. Something fine and grainy is just drifting away from you as you rise into bright light. And your hands are sort of just held out. As you look up, a little bit distant from you, on a slightly higher slope, you see Liz standing there, kind of looking around. And as the snow and sand, or whatever this particle substance is, drifts away, you see a big gap just gape open between you. And it continues to fall away, fall away, fall away. And looking around, you suddenly realize that one of you is standing on a narrow projectile that is rising upward. And the other of you is also standing on a similar narrow projectile that's rising upward, but at slightly different heights. And then off in the distance, you can see a face. Both of you go ahead and give me a wits and composure.
Rocket Man.
Oh, nope.
One success.
Akajin, you're the first to realize. This is what happens when two people are standing on fingertips at the end of an arm that's being lifted and are small enough that they can stand there and then look across the expanse of the arm to the actual face on the body that's holding them.
Punch yourself in the nose. Punch yourself in the nose. Punch yourself in the nose.
I realized that
you-
my own hands were held out earlier, and I look at my hands.
Yep. Your hands are just there.
Okay, good.
The
tiny
face
people.
appears to be that of a young female human. Strawberry blonde hair, fair skin, freckles on the cheeks, green eyes. And she just kind of tilts her head. This massive football stadium-sized head. As she looks at these two little figures that are apparently standing on her first two fingers. And she's holding them out at arm's length.
I don't like this.
Gracie?
The head slowly turns back the other direction, and you can see a woven crown. Seems to be made out of branches, leaves. There are a couple thorns poking through it, but made of pristine silver, not wood or plant material. She doesn't respond to Akujin's call. And you can see there's some food crusted at the corner of one of her mouth. There's a smudge on her cheek. Her hair is just kind of... Go ahead, Liz.
Do I know that Akujin's there? Have I noticed that? He's on the other of these
Give me another
things.
wits and composure.
Okay.
No, you're all by yourself.
Stab yourself in the leg. Anything.
Oh god.
Yeah, no.
There's all the rolls are gone.
This
now.
whole thing is kind of dominating your attention right
Yeah,
now.
that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. This is good.
I'm
Okay.
gonna look down at the ground underneath my feet. Is it very clearly a fingernail or like a finger, or is it still feels like something different?
It's there at this point. You're looking down. Yeah, no, you're standing on a big ass finger.
Does she have a hangnail or anything?
Nails look like they could use a scrub. Yeah.
No, I'm specifically looking like to see if there's like a broken piece of nail that's underneath the rest of the nail, like sort of
No,
poking
there's
into
not.
the-
Mm-mm.
Damn it! I
No.
was gonna stomp on a hangnail if I could say it.
Are you going to try to annoy what by dream references the goddess that is currently holding you on a finger?
Yes.
I know. The fingernails look chewed and dirty.
Okay.
Adele would like to welcome Akujin to the afterlife.
Hi, I opened the door and here you are.
Which will not help with the idea that that's just the next scenario, by the way.
Right?
I would like to invoke a contract here. Hang on.
Okay.
Let me see here. Which one should I do?
Do I have anything on me while Mara's looking at contracts, or is it just me?
Not currently. You don't
Okay.
have anything on you. Do you want to make something on you?
I not particularly, because I don't trust the. Actually, question:
Yeah.
could I make a weapon out of the fingernail below me?
Not out of the fingernail below you.
Damn it.
But you're in a dream. You can just fucking manifest one if you need to.
Yeah.
Watch some Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, right.
I am going to use
I'm not a dream weaver.
some fleeting autumn to try and get Great Queen Gracie's fear, I guess. Yeah, I think that's gonna be what I go for.
Okay.
Yeah. So that cost my last glamour.
Wits plus weird minus 3.
Okay.
Or sorry, no, 1. My bad.
-1. Okay. Wits plus weird. Bless you.
Thank you.
-1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use that coin to make that an exceptional success because I really want to know this information.
Okay.
So there's a willpower gone.
Sounds good. So with an exceptional success on which is intuition, you learn 2 fears, not just one.
Okay.
Solitude. And what's the best word for it? Blame.
I'm just gonna yell at the figure and see what happens. So just from the thing. So Queen Gracie, you know, if you want to build a family, there are easier ways to do it than starting a war. Let's see if there's any reaction.
A shadow passes over your head.
One of the other fingers. It's the
As
thumb.
you see another finger coming down to just boop, try and boop you on the head. Apparently, it's about the size of a Mack truck trailer. Like it's real big.
I will try to manifest a sword. I don't know if I'll be able to.
Okay. Let's see.
Let's see what happens when I stab God in the finger.
For sure. All right. What is highest? Your intelligence, your strength, or your presence?
My strength.
Okay. Strength and weaponry. Plus your weird.
5 successes.
5 successes. What do you think Akujin would manifest as a dream weapon?
The great sword that his demon self was using to beat the shit out of him.
Okay. So in your hand, this 1.5 meter long blade just manifests. Vicious spiraling crossguard that sweeps out and wraps around the blade in this kind of weird double helix that you know would be excellent for catching any incoming attack. The handle juts past the back heel of your hand, probably another good 6 inches or so. This massive wicked blade, and you just lunge upward with it, sinking it deep into the pad of the finger that's coming down. It doesn't stop.
Oh, I figured.
Yeah. Blood or something similar to it, and then as it hits you, you see it's red sand. Scatters across your shoulders, your upturned face as you just lunge this blade into this massive finger. And it just squishes you into the finger upon which you're standing. Your eyes snap open.
Am I
Morning light coming through the...
I feel like my eyes snap open and I've got the turn signal stick in my hand detached from the rest of the car.
might need some TLC on that steering column there, bud.
Fuck.
Liz.
Yeah. Hi, Gracie.
She doesn't seem to acknowledge your voice.
I think I get you now, maybe a little bit. Your stories are very nice.
You see the face drift closer, kind of orienting yourself to your current position. You feel like she's probably pulling the finger you're standing on closer to her face.
Mhm.
And you see this massive visage just tower over top of you. And the tongue folds out and you vanish inside a massive mouth. It's hot, it's wet, something slams into you, and your eyes open. In whatever bed you happen to fall asleep in.
You found the uvula.
Found her. Comes over the text chain.
Me too. I saw you. Comes back.
Oh, I didn't see you. I think I got eaten.
But everybody is awake the next morning. Everybody gets a point of willpower back.
Mhm.
I need glamour.
Same. Are both bodies still there? Let's would go check. Okay.
Oh,
Both
did
bodies
Paige
still there.
did
They
did
got
Paige
up
ever
and
show up like she
walked
said she was
away.
going to? After she got done with work at City Hall?
She
Yeah,
was with
no,
us
she-
when I read the letter.
Yeah.
Right,
Paige-
yes.
Paige-
Okay.
Yeah. No, Paige just stuck with you all night and then crashed wherever you crashed.
Hmm. So in Phaedra's room in the crack house then.
Probably. Yep, I would assume.
The bodies are not there. They got up and walked away.
Liz
They're
half
like, "Fuck
expected
this
Miras
shit,
to
we're
be
done."
gone, so you know. Winter court.
There. Only one of them is gone. The question is which one.
Now, Winter Court's not going to steal Mira's body. It's not that they
Speak-
couldn't. It's just grave robbing's not wrong. It's just rude.
Mm.
Speaking of,
It's not in a
have
grave
they,
yet.
have they been by to handle the vehicle yet, or was that the day prior that I'm thinking?
No,
of?
that's been taken care of.
Okay, yeah. So death certificate and all that has been arranged.
Yeah, that was a day or so ago, so they've already got that in hand and prepped.
I proceed.
Megan, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
What are you doing today?
Getting up and going about a normal day for me.
Okay.
Like there's
How-
nothing that's
Sure.
gonna cause me to do anything different right now.
Is Megan low on glamour? Does she need any of that?
Not really, not at the moment.
Okay.
She's going to, I mean, she's not working right now. Doesn't have a job at the moment. Go to the gym, train for a few hours.
Uh-huh.
Get something to eat, go out. It's just honestly, she has a pretty normal everyday existence
Right.
at the moment, I feel like.
Just her daily
Wow.
routine.
Have some conversations on the phone, work stuff.
Okay.
Actually, there probably will be a quick text just to check in with Lark and see how she's doing.
Okay.
And then just pretty much regular going about the day until night when it's going out.
Okay. What about the rest of the motley proper?
First, I'm fixing the turn signal on my car.
Dexterity and crafts, go. Do you
Uh,
have a specialty in auto repair? Or
No,
anything?
I have no special. I have no. Actually, I have a. I forget. Do you automatically get a specialty in crafts when you make
Not in
take
New
crafts?
World,
No,
no.
I do not. Then, charity craft. 1 success.
Start making some progress on it. It'll take 5.
Ooh. That's what
So
I'm
you
doing.
can just keep rolling that until you get 5.
until someone
successes.
needs a ride.
Yep. 10 minutes per roll.
Oh, okay. Roll again.
Right. Lark, Phage.
Lark is gonna wander around the house in the morning and kind of familiarize herself with it.
Okay.
How many bedrooms are in this house?
34. No.
It's like 4 or 5 probably. Like there was enough for at one point everybody in the Motley stayed there for a couple nights at least. So like 4 or 5 probably.
How big is the house?
I think I said it was no, it's over 3,000 square feet. It's big.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big fucking house.
I
Yeah,
mean, it's
sure.
basically it's basically a small kind of mansion.
Yeah, she'll wander around and kind
Okay.
of just familiarize herself. At one point, I think she will go into Adele's office.
Computer. Lot of books. Nice desk. Big kind of bay window, but with the shades completely drawn and blacked out.
And covered up with soundproofing material too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Very well insulated. Yeah. As a performer yourself, you can be like, oh, okay, there was definitely some audio recording that happened in here based on what's on the walls and the equipment that's around.
Mhm. She'll probably wander.
I think one
downstairs.
of the 2 skeletons is in there.
Yes. I think you're right.
She'll probably wander downstairs to the wine cellar.
Okay. A lot of bottles, a lot of dust. Very quiet currently. Doesn't seem to be anybody around at the moment.
She's gonna take just at random one of the bottles of alcohol and just throw it against the wall.
Prove.
Yep. Shattering sound, splash, immediate smell of wine, and it just begins to soak in. Adele apparently was a little bit of a traditionalist. It appears that the wine cellar primarily has a dirt floor. So the wine is just soaking into the dust and beginning to pool and thicken in with the soil.
I mean, you can't bury people in your wine cellar if you covered it up in concrete.
Right, exactly.
After that, she's just gonna slump to the floor and just cry.
Roll me a d10.
3.
Okay. Spend a while down there just letting your emotions flow. Phage.
Yep. She has some research to do, and she's going to try and see if Paige is willing to help out as well. Because we need to see if we can find anything more on Gracie Arundel from the real side.
Okay. Are you researching anything specific on that, or?
Not in like nothing like as a specific focus, mostly just trying to find all the information we can on this person, but probably approaching it primarily through like if we can find the missing person's record and trace backwards kind of thing.
Okay. So sort of reverse engineer a timeline and persons of interest and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a.
I would like to assist Paige on this because she's definitely got the investigation that I don't.
Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead and give me a wits and investigation for yourself then. And we'll see how that adds to Paige's.
That's a chance die. So, because I have to do the thing, but I'm the person in the party who's not good at the thing. Oh, so close.
Okay.
I can investigate.
Paige actually has a willpower to spend. She'll spend a willpower to help her girlfriend out.
Will she?
Four successes. Not bad
Yay.
at all. Okay. So mostly what you end up doing is just grunt work, more or less. Finding resources and having her look into them, pointing out, just doing the brute Google searching, and then she scans down through the page and figures out what the relevant information is. You guys are able to, you guys already have sort of the basic gist of Gracie's disappearance, which park it happened at, when, that sort of thing. Paige is able to confirm names of parents. She's able to she's actually able to find where they currently live. They have apparently split up in the aftermath of their daughter's disappearance. And she manages to find current addresses for both of them, as well as the names of the primary suspects that the police were able to determine. There was a neighbor who was considered a suspect, much older man who is now dead. And go ahead and give me an intelligence and occult for Phage.
That I can roll. Because I actually have a cult, even if it's only one dot. Why not? I'll put a willpower.
This is where
into
you
this.
learn weirdly.
Paige is going to roll it as well. And wow, okay. Apparently she's going to be able to help you with this.
This is where you learn weirdly that Nero was the officer
nothing.
investigating.
Okay. Between the two of you,
My dice hate me today.
the one thing that you notice that's weird, particularly for you, about Gracie's case, in all the things that you've heard her referred to, she's using her name, her actual name. You don't know any changelings that use their given birth name from when they were mortal to identify themselves. For the same reason that nobody goes into witness protection and says, oh no, but I'm the Giuseppe Giancarlo who works at the mechanics, not the one who used to work for the mob.
Which means she's not really concerned about her true name or her true identity.
So that strikes you as very weird.
Or it's not actually her. Dun dun dun.
I mean, we've got her name from her memories.
We got her name from Memories in the Hedge. We did not get
Yeah.
her name directly from her.
No, but also her name is in her book
Yes.
as Queen Gracie.
That doesn't mean that the person currently using the name is the original Gracie Arundel. It could be. But
So that's what you guys are able to find after a couple hours of research.
I mean, it sort of makes sense that she's not too concerned with her old name. She never came back into the real, as far as we can tell. No reason to hide it. Well, this is something at least. Stuff I'll be able to give to Sledge for his teams. Probably to Winter as well.
All right. Well, I suppose that's what we have so far.
Thank you for the
We
help.
could follow up if you wanted, I suppose.
Probably be worth doing, but question is how to set that up. I'll have to ask if anyone's got any.
Pretend to be a
legitimate
reporter.
connections.
We're following up on cold cases.
Eh,
Can we talk to you about your daughter?
Fair, yeah. I'll mark down these addresses and see what we can dig up. Do you want to follow up? No.
I'm not good at lying to people. You'll want somebody else to help you pretend to be a reporter.
I'm pretty good at that. Don't worry.
All right.
at some point after I finish fixing my car, a text will go out to the Motley as a whole saying,
Okay.
we should finish up.
What?
Leaving them there isn't going to resolve it.
Eventually they'll rot and then they'll just be part of the ground.
Liz's funerary services. You know what's cheap and gets rid of bodies? Decomposition. Open air decomposition. Also vultures.
Well, scavengers are key to decomposition, so
I wanted to drive somewhere. But what are we doing?
Lark, right about now is when Megan's text probably comes through.
What does it say?
It says, "Hey, just checking in, seeing how you're doing. Hope things hope things are going well. Relatively. Smile."
Lark will text back.
Are you flirting with me?
Lark will text back. I'm still alive, but that's about it.
That's progress.
is it?
Yes.
Was I dead?
I feel like standing still is not the same as moving forward.
No, that is absolutely progress.
Also, was Akajine's text to all of us?
Yeah, it would have been to the whole Motley.
Lark will text back to Akajine. For Adele, we should bury her in the basement of her house.
She would be the body buried in her own basement.
Mm-hmm.
I will follow that up with, do you think she'd appreciate company?
No, she would.
Lark's gonna text back, not Mira.
I wasn't in the motley,
Oh,
Poor Mira.
poor Mira.
Oh, sorry.
They're so much better than that.
Snowdrift it is. Comes back.
Oh,
Here's the thing about burying people in snowdrifts. Those
the
fuckers
snow
melt.
melts.
I know how to get rid of bodies.
I mean, ultimately, I think
Apparently, your method of getting rid of bodies is kick it down the road until spring.
No, that's a joke. Because she's winter, you see.
Right. Yes, I do.
Directly to Lark, not to the group. Do you want to stay at the house, or would you like to come with me to get them?
I want to stay at the house.
Then directly to Phage. I'm on the way over.
all right.
What's the last thing Megan had texted Lark?
That's progress.
Okay. She will send Megan a text and say, do you want to help bury a body?
Hey, kids, want to see a dead body?
Do you want to bury Adele?
Do you see what Adele has done to Lark?
No.
Do you want to hide a body?
That's it. That is
Yes.
it. Do you want to hide a
It
body?
doesn't have to be in one piece.
There is actually a version of that running around on TikTok that I've seen
Yep.
multiple times now.
Yep.
That
Yes,
is
and I love it.
delightful.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's so good. Lark will get back. Sure, sounds like fun.
Lark will then send Megan the address.
Okay.
And I'm going to, if no one else has a better idea, on my way over to the crack house.
Oh, Lissa's gonna
Okay.
send. Oh, I want to put Mira in the hollow.
By the garden? Question mark.
In the tree.
Around the roots, we can find a spot.
No, hanging
gonna
from the
say-
tree, scarecrow.
No, she would not do that.
I was gonna say, yeah, put the body in a garden outside of a crack house. That'll certainly never be uncovered in a random police search.
No, the garden
have
in
a-
the
yeah.
hedge.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one.
That she does not have a garden in the real.
So,
side of
There's
things.
yeah. Fair enough.
then I'll
Yeah,
text. Then I'll.
hang her from the tree. Pirates, ye be warned.
Liz would not do that.
Then I will text back to the group. Then on the way over.
All right. So Akajin arrives at the crack house where Phage and Paige and Liz are.
Lark's gonna wait over at Adele's house for us to bring Adele. So,
Mhm.
do Mira first. And
I can do it. I'll grab.
I'll help
try
you
and-
as I reach
Give
down.
me the
and
strength
pick
and
up-
athletics for Liz first.
Yep. Here we go. Yeah, that's nothing.
And so yeah, you go over and try and pick Mira up.
I like to think that I
And
pick.
suddenly the phrase dead weight has a different meaning in your brain.
It's
Ooh.
different now.
I like to think that
Okay,
I pick
okay.
Mira's body up on like the third tug of Liz trying to go. So all of a sudden it starts moving.
Ah,
Roll your strength and athletics, Akajin.
Please. Watch me get 0.
Right.
One success.
Yeah, right. And so you just pick up the body, start walking upstairs or wherever Liz is leading.
Paige will follow after to help
yeah.
situation.
That would have been funny with four dots of strength to fail to pick up a body.
Right,
It's
yeah,
like,
mhm.
what the fuck has she been eating?
Oh no, there would have been other reasons for that, but fortunately, we don't have to get into those because that would not have been pretty.
Snap. Whoops.
Kinda.
Jesus Christ.
So, Liz, you open the hollow,
Yep.
walk inside,
Uh-huh.
Oxygen Phage following.
We all have like specific. We've worked a little bit on the hollow. I think we ended up getting like.
You guys have worked very little on the hollow, but yes, I think
Okay.
most of you have worked on
That's-
the hollow with the exception of Oxygen.
Yeah, Liz
Oh,
is
and
probably
now
spending
Megan.
a fair bit of time. Yeah, she's basically gonna want to try and like dig a grave kind of right in the middle of things because Mira wanted to be everyone's friend, and leaving her in the middle of everything seems the best way for Liz.
Inter her in the wood.
Yeah.
Are we doing a grave or a crypt? AKA, are we burying her and putting something over top, or are we Snow Whiting this shit where you can see the body the entire time?
Oh god. She might do a crypt. Yeah. I think she's gonna do that.
Give me a manipulation. So basically, the best of your finesse skills. So either wits, dexterity, or manipulation.
This isn't going to be a Snow White thing. This is going to be a repo thing.
Dexterity.
Okay. Dexterity and empathy.
At the top of the stairs.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Just the body in the window.
Yeah.
Completely sitting out. Yeah,
One
preserved.
success?
That's not a mannequin.
No, it's not.
Oh, it wasn't?
Right.
No, that was her body.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
at the
didn't realize that.
in Repo to the Genetic Opera, at the top of the stairs, there was what looked like either a portrait or a mannequin of the body, like framed in a window.
You're supposed to believe that it's holographic.
Yeah.
throughout much of
Yeah,
it.
that's what I
But
thought.
Until it shatters and the body's gone.
Yeah, it's very much a real body.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah. Repo the
So
Genetic
Liz-
Opera, by the way. If you haven't seen it, people see
watch that shit. Fucking
it.
yeah.
So fucking good. You have not lived until you've seen Anthony Stewart Head sing two parts of a
duet.
Where puppeting a human body with his hands through the torso to do the one of them.
The best part of that sequence is at the end where he suddenly has this look on his face of what the fuck am I doing, or how the fuck did I do that, because he harmonizes with himself at the end.
Yep.
So Liz begins her project. Is anybody else pitching in to help?
Yeah, I'll help with all the manual labor.
Yeah.
Okay. Oxygen, go ahead and give me a strength and just strength and athletics. Phage, what are you doing to help out?
She can help with physical work as well, but she also has like, even if it's not much better, she has a slightly better grasp on the hedge than most in the group. So,
okay, you can give me your best finesse trait then, of which dexterity and manipulation, and
weird
either empathy or persuasion, whichever you prefer.
I'll go with manipulation and empathy.
Okay.
And then put a willpower into this because we're doing it right. I'm still gonna roll 0. Hey,
Nice.
5 successes.
So, Liz, you begin your efforts,
Mm-hmm.
and Oxygen is there helping to handle most of the heavy lifting. Phage, you're watching this go on, and suddenly one of those little like bursts of inspiration kind of explodes in the back of your head, and you pull on the Fey magic that permeates you and your connection with the weird mutability of the hedge itself. And between the three of you, with Phage sort of shoring up the gaps and filling in. A cavity is created in the floor. The needles and leaf litter that form more or less the carpet of this interior chamber kind of collapse into it a bit. And stones begin to emerge around the rim. Akajin, you lower Mira's body into this pit where she will lie probably about a foot below the floor level. And Phage, you just lay a hand on the one of the larger stones that sort of rims this depression near the end where Mira's head is, and push your intent into it. And with a trickle and then a rush, the depression begins to fill with water that just seems to be coming out of the various cracks and crevices between these stones, filling this area like a basin. Mira's body stays at the bottom. Water doesn't appear to be imparting any buoyancy to the corpse itself. Bubbles and froths for a moment, and then, Phage, you pull your hand back and it becomes still. With this glass-like surface to this thing, you just kind of exhale briefly. And suddenly this burst of cold air rips in from outside and flash freezes the liquid. The frost makes it murky and hard to see through, kind of opaquing parts of it. But Mira's face rests peacefully under about a foot of solid ice. Still the outline of her face visible as her body is laid to rest in the center of the room.
All right.
I like her. She's nice.
There she was.
All right. So you
Let's
going?
get to the other half of this grim tusk.
All right.
Is Adele's body covered by anything, or is it just out in the open?
It's covered.
By what?
It's wrapped up in linens.
Do we have
like a big winding sheet.
Do we have a carpet anywhere?
There's a couple.
House?
There's a couple carpets that have been here. All of them have been destroyed over time, however, or clawed up by hedge wolves.
That's fine. I would like the most intact carpet. I would like to roll her in.
You can probably find something in Liss's workshop.
So it looks less suspicious when we load her in and out of a car.
Okay.
So yeah.
Weirdly, wrapping a body in a carpet makes the carpet look a lot less like a carpet.
It does, but it still looks like a mess, like a fucked up carpet, as opposed to a pile of linens in a human shape.
I mean, you're ruining the entire aesthetic. If you're gonna wrap a dead body in something, use plastic like a normal person.
Again,
she probably had spare body bags.
She probably.
Again, carrying a body bag in and out of a car is a little suspicious.
Yes, they will certainly be questioning this around the crack house.
Doesn't matter.
Changeling's kind of sus.
We're also going to be carrying her in and out of a car around her house.
Doesn't her house have a
But
They
gate?
anyway.
would question if they weren't carrying a body in and out of Adele's house because they'd assume you're friends of Adele's.
Don't they also have
Adele
a gate?
does have Adele. She does not have a gate, but she does have a garage, a drive-in garage.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And in the space,
Aesthetic matters.
thus the aesthetic is carpet.
But Megan arrives at
Yep.
a mansion.
Yep. Jesus Christ. Walk up, knock on the door.
Lark will open it.
Hey, you
Hi.
are not kidding.
No.
Lark looks like shit.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she's probably wearing the same clothes she was wearing the night before.
Wearing the same clothes.
Yeah.
They are very dusty right now. She's got tear streaks down her face.
Smells of alcohol.
But does not appear to be drunk.
Have you slept?
Sorry, what was the question?
Have you slept?
Yeah,
is
I've,
sleep?
I've slept.
Now, was it actual sleep?
I don't know.
I feel like asking what was the question after asking "Have you slept?" is
It was entirely
Or-
within
yeah.
character.
is
Yes.
is also an answer to that question.
Yes, it is also that 100%.
I don't know if I remember actually.
All right.
Sleep.
Well, are we look around really quick? Are we burying somebody at the moment, or
When the others get here.
all right?
This was Adele's house. We're gonna bury her in the basement. It's probably what she would have wanted.
Okay.
Process that, new girl.
I mean, like I
And-
said before, this Motley is at least fairly well known. I feel like because of the whole
Commons thing and whatnot.
Commons thing. So that was more of a yeah, that tracks.
Actually, for Megan, go ahead and give me an intelligence and socialize.
Okay.
Just because I can't think of any other dice pool that would fit pop culture knowledge.
Hold on just a second. I just need to check my things. Because that is okay. That's just no penalty. Okay, cool. Which I would not have anyways. 2. Because
With
again,
2 successes?
I roll well on this character so far somehow.
Yeah, you kind of scope the surroundings and walk inside. You've never been there, but this is literally the Haunted Mansion from Disney World.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Well, before we while we wait for that to happen, do you want to get a shower? Anything? Coffee? What do you need right now?
Okay, I don't really like coffee.
Fair.
Much prefer alcohol. I'll drink coffee
Very-
if there's alcohol in it.
Very fair.
An Irish
Um,
coffee.
Some good shit.
Is there any of that here? Because believe it or not, I don't bring that with me on my motorcycle as a rule.
There's so much alcohol here.
Okay.
There's a wine cellar.
So, okay, you go get freshen up. I don't take this the wrong way, but you look like you probably feel right now.
I'm not surprised.
And it's okay that if that isn't a thing that you're worried about. But I just want to make sure, if you want to take time to take
I'll-
some you time. You have time for it right now.
I'll take a shower and change my clothes.
I will find the alcohol and make something.
Go downward direction.
Downward, sweet.
Megan, it does
Yeah.
occur to you that you have known this woman for about 24 hours. You first encountered her in full camera, makeup, wardrobe, hair, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been a slow deterioration
Yep.
over the last 24 hours since the longer you're around Lark, the worse she's gotten.
I'm not going to take that personally.
Well, right. Yeah.
All
no,
your
no.
fault.
But this is also entirely understandable.
Oh, yeah.
behavior
No, it's,
because-
yeah.
Yes. So yeah.
It just strikes you as an interesting progression.
Yes.
You know,
You
you are able to find
Yep.
copious amounts of liquor.
Okay.
You are able to find a reasonably decent supply of food and other cooking items.
Okay.
Less so than you would have thought, but whatever. It's probably been a while since anybody could go for groceries.
Yeah,
the
which is
third
not a thing
you
that Adele
find-
worried about much.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
As you're wandering around getting the lay of the land, is a very insistent cat.
Well, hey there.
Meow. Meow.
Mm-hmm. What's her name? Okay, fair enough. I will check collar. I don't remember.
I don't think
remember if
anybody's
it
gotten
had
a collar for. Yeah,
No.
I don't
no,
remember if
no
it had a
collar, no
No.
collar.
This is a stray cat that you found.
I mean, it's
It
a
seems to
stray
be
cat.
reasonably well fed.
I'm aware of that. I just don't remember because there was the possibility that somebody got a collar and shit.
Mhm.
So yes, I will go make sure that go find wherever the food is. Make sure that it all that's full, water's full.
Mhm.
Take a moment, take care of the cat.
Yep. Yeah. It just seems to be it's doing the between the legs thing.
Yep.
You know. So yeah,
I'm comfortable with that.
you're figuring this is just a cat that wants some attention.
Yep.
That cat
Which
is
I will
Queen
give.
Gracie.
Yes.
Kill it.
Which I will give. I will. Don't ask me what. I am not a mixologist.
Sure.
Megan is a little bit more, but I'm going to like raid the tea and put together some things that are drinks with a mix of like chamomile or ginseng, things that are sort of calming teas.
Right. Some sort of
Meditative
therapeutic hot
type
toddy
things,
kind of
yes,
thing. Yeah.
yes.
Mhm. Okay. Easy
Something
enough.
that will be a little bit more relaxing and care drink as opposed to like an AMF or something like that.
Right. As opposed to whatever the opposite of a Shirley
Right.
Temple is.
Yeah.
So Lark, you take some time to, actually do a bit of a morning routine. And when you come back down, there are drinks, which is roughly about the time probably that the rest of the gang is showing up with corpse number 2.
But really, corpse number 1 in all our hearts.
Christ.
Because she died first, you see.
Right, yeah. It wasn't a race. Okay, it was a little bit of a race.
It was absolutely a race.
It was kind of a race.
Jesus Christ. Curse number 2. I see Yakujan read the other the fine print of the will where it said, if you cannot bury me in a haunted house, please donate me to a show so I can be used as corpse number 2 in
Right.
an extra scene.
I will.
I feel like that's against union somehow.
I will.
Eh,
I will instruct Phage as to where my toolbox is. That definitely has a shovel next to it. As I bring the body inside.
Ooh,
I will-
toolbox.
You've actually
Get
not
the
Liz.
door
I don't.
for you.
Liz might not
You've
have seen the toolbox actually.
No, I have not. I am going to get absorbed in that.
It's just like an auto toolbox, like one like a large red thing with lots of shelves in it, but most of the
Nice.
shelves are filled with weapons.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's like take your average auto mechanics kit and swap out all of the screwdrivers and wrenches for just knives.
They're still there. Like the screwdrivers and wrenches are still there. It's just there's not
Right.
as many of them as there would be otherwise.
Okay,
Because you needed room for knives.
Yeah, I am busy opening all of those up. I'm not following in
There's
at
like
this point.
and it basically it goes like it seems like it's in an order of hierarchy. Small like it's like smaller blades at the top goes down to larger blades. Then it goes pistols and then it goes shotguns.
Got it. Is it very organized or like
It's fairly well
mostly
organized.
just
Yeah.
by size?
It's
Okay.
it's size within size categories. So like you have
Got it.
Right.
in the small knives section you have the smaller knives to the bigger knives
Okay.
and the
I am slightly reorganizing them by some other.
Weird
That
metric.
tracks. That tracks.
Yeah.
All right. So, Megan, you hear the door to the garage slam open and some heavy footfalls coming in as I'm assuming Phage and Akujin are transporting Adele's cadaver.
Mhm.
Sounds like your peeps are here.
walk in, see stranger, tilt head.
Yep. This is the first time you've met Akujin.
Seen ya, not betcha. Hey,
Hello.
Megan.
Yeah, Akajin, Megan, Akajin.
I'd shake your hands, but
Yeah,
I
you're good.
met her at the commercial thing I did yesterday.
where we going?
Down. That's right. He has never been in Adele's house.
Correct.
No,
Right? Yeah. No.
not at all.
Never
Nope.
ever.
There was a
Um,
hard and fast rule about that.
Akujin is allowed in Adele's mansion over her dead body. Oh, wait.
Yep.
There it is.
Got it.
Lark.
He
will
is
be
literally
quiet.
over it because he's carrying it.
Yep.
Do. I will carry Adele down. Well, I
So
will.
yeah, there's
I will carry the lumpy carpet down.
right. Get down to the basement. Part of it is concrete floor, part of it is dirt. So, that's an easy choice.
Lay Adele out. Unroll the carpet. Look over to Phage. You want to dig or me?
I feel like you got more experience at this than I do.
Slightly, yes.
Strength and athletics. You got a shovel, make it a +1.
All right.
You guys need help?
I've got this. I'm
Alright.
gonna spend a willpower so I make it a nice hole.
Okay.
It's so +2 or 1 for the shovel.
+1 for the shovel, and then
total.
+3 for the willpower.
Jesus Christ.
It's
Guys
cold,
need
and the floor is slightly frozen.
One success.
You're starting to realize this is going to take a minute. This is digging
Can
a
you-
grave is an extended.
So as I begin digging, can you unthaw the ground? Or can you thaw the ground, I should say?
Thaw? Freeze it more?
Yeah.
It's already unthawed.
Can you thaw the ground?
That is not something that I can do. No.
All right. Do I keep that bonus from the willpower on each successive roll, or no? on the first one?
You would have to spend a willpower for each ensuing roll.
2 successes.
2 success. All right. So yeah, you adjust your angle, and what you had assumed was soft, loose dirt is suddenly actually harder. So you throw your back into it a little bit more, and begin to make some progress. You only need 2 more successes.
1,
Do you need help?
4.
You break through the frozen layer, and then it's like actually kind of softer dirt down here. So there's just about 40 minutes of Akujin just wielding a shovel.
And as you ask, do you need help? He's not like he is almost mechanically just dig like point stomp dig.
Well, that would have
Point,
been like
stomp,
after 20
dig,
minutes
yeah.
of your, no offense, ineffective ass digging. And then when there was no response, you would have been just like, cool, and headed up.
To be fair, do you have a second shovel?
No.
That was aimed at at Megan.
I mean, I don't know. Are there shovels around here?
There probably could be like 15 of them. I would not know in this particular house.
You guys walked through a garage. Maybe there's some shovels in there.
We walked through Adele's garage, though.
like
I
Well-
don't understand how that is a disqualifier.
we're as likely to find shovels in this house as we are to find kitchenware in the same places.
Would have been lots of shovels because one of those skeletons she did not buy.
Yep. Mhm. That was a locally
Specifically
sourced.
noted in the character.
Yep.
Also,
But yeah,
for
no.
Aquajin, this is a personal task. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, she would have once there was much of a response, she would have been like, "Cool."
and
It was a locally sourced, ethically produced, artisanal,
Depending on-
handcrafted skeleton, right
Absolutely ethically. The body wasn't. The soul wasn't using it.
there. Right.
Depending on how you frame
The
it.
family just threw it in the dirt
like what we're doing.
like it was garbage.
like it was garbage.
But yeah. After however long it takes of just like steady muscling the dirt out of the way.
Yep, about 40 minutes or so.
I love the eco-friendly necromancy aspect of Adele.
Hell yeah. You have
Use,
a...
use, recycle. That's the Tyrion way at the very least.
Yep. You have a nice deep hole that should fit Adele pretty well. And you don't even have to ball her up.
With Phage's help, lower her in.
Yeah.
Yep. You guys managed to complete the burial. Are you assembling people before you fill in the hole, or are you just gonna...
I'll leave that to Phage.
I mean, she'll walk around and ask if people want to be there before we start filling it up.
Lark will be there.
There's just the sound of clattering from the garage. She's moved on to Adele's junk drawers, which I remember being extensive because it almost fell on Mira at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And she will find Liz and ask because she needs to get that confirmation.
What?
Do you want to be there before we start piling dirt on?
I'm here.
Do you want to be in the room?
I don't know.
It's up to you. You're allowed to say no.
Can I throw something at her?
I won't stop you. I don't know if anyone else will.
Okay.
Is it dirt?
Hang on. I keep rummaging. I am looking at this point for all of the fragments of radios that Adele has created.
Oh,
Give
Over
me
the
a
many,
wit
many-
and investigation.
Okay.
I mean, they pretty much just got left where they were, and I think
Yeah.
Bury her. With,
Liz tried to fix most of them.
bury her with her enemies.
What was it?
But
Wits
you're
and
not in there.
investigation?
Wits and
know.
investigation. Yep.
I didn't say all her
I got one.
enemies, just her enemies.
You find a handful of fragments that you're pretty sure came from the old Crosley radio, the first one that you found in your
Okay.
in your
Okay.
nest up in the top of the...
That's
top of the
special.
commons.
I'll pocket that and okay. I'm ready. I head down with Phage.
Everybody marches downstairs.
Hey, Liz.
Adele's pale corpse.
Having just been in the garage to see Liz, Phage would have grabbed a shovel.
Okay. There's a sizable pile of dirt.
I'm sort of standing at the head or at the foot of the grave, tipped down on the shovel, hands clasped over, like chin on my, waiting.
You can see that Akujin's built up a sweat.
I march up and I throw most of the radio bits. I keep some of them. Something shiny.
I mean, you've got about 4 pieces. How many are
Yeah.
you keeping?
I keep one.
Okay.
And I
Keep the knob.
This marches over to the head of the grave and chucks it in, and then marches back to the bottom of the stairs and sits down and crosses their arms.
So that mildly passive-aggressive tribute.
Yep.
Thinking about it for a second. Leave the shovel where it's standing, go upstairs. Find a bathroom. Find a bottle of hairspray. Find a lighter. Go back down. Place them gently in the grave.
Cool.
Giving the Viking a burial with their weapon.
Y'all are fucked up.
Lark will pull out Adele's switchblade, which she took off the body at some point. I meant to mention before. And she will just slice her hand open and drip some blood.
We get to the blood magic part of things.
Now it becomes a dark
Give me a
ritual.
resolve
now
and a
begins
cult.
the resurrection. No.
Give me a resolve and a cult. Mm-hmm.
As I say, now we have the dark ritual aspect.
Yep. Megan is just sitting back, like standing back against a wall somewhere, close to everybody, but not hovering. Just sort of their presence.
Just watching the escalation.
Damn.
Like
Four
none of this
success on 4
registers as
dice.
none of this registers as, well, that's fucked up, at least on her face.
So, of the 5 of you that are in the room, all of you suddenly become aware of 6 now in the room. 7, 8, 9.
We're just two.
Liz is looking around.
Are these
I
Are
think
there-
you woke the ghosts up.
are there
Lark.
ghosts or hobs?
Ghosts.
Okay.
You see an older gentleman, probably early 60s. Very formal garb, waistcoat, watch chain. Sits there, he's holding a cigar, and he just pulls out a cigar cutter and off the end. There's a woman, probably about 30 or so. Stringy, long hair that's partially in her face, but mostly cascading down her back. And dressed in a house coat. Shoulders hunched, hands clenched in front of her, kind of working back and forth as she clasps and unclasps them. Just kind of darts looks around the room.
Did I just start hallucinating, or are you guys seeing this too?
These are her ghosts.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Cool. Look-
One figure, difficult to pin down visually, seems to be in some sort of motion, constantly blurred, just at the edge of your vision, but definitely very present, very apparent.
I just
And a
look-
smaller one, the smallest, very, very old woman, hunched over a walking stick of twisted black wood. Bent with age, probably no more than 4.5 feet tall. Who very slowly limps over to the edge of the grave. Then her arm reaches out with the walking stick and extends and extends and extends. The forearm stretching out maybe 3 or 4 feet long as she just dips the tip of her walking stick in the blood where it's pooled and kind of spattered on Adele. and brings it back up. Flips her cane upside down and just kind of rubs her finger in the liquid. Licks it off. Slowly backs up away from the edge of the grave.
And look at Phage and see if Phage has anything to add.
Paige just kind of looks across the entire group, shrugs. All right, then. Then we begin. And she starts
Start filling in
shoveling
dirt.
the dirt.
The instant the first shovelful of dirt hits Adele's corpse, ghosts are gone. But I'm making a note of that 4 successes for future reference.
Aw.
And after about 10 minutes, the grave begins to fill. And ultimately, there is a small mound of dirt where previously there was a flat dirt floor in
Well,
Adele's basement.
I'm gonna do my best to flatten it. Like
No, man.
I'm like just gonna have like a bucket and shear off the excess dirt so that it can be as
Mhm.
to try to make it level with the rest of the floor, like there's nothing there.
Give me a intelligence and science.
Could it be intelligence and crafts instead?
No, because this is more about do you know what happens versus what are you actually trying to do.
Well, chance
Yeah.
die.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, no, he doesn't know what happens, or no success.
So yeah, you shear it off and level it out.
Liz is gonna yell from she's sheltered inside her coat again, and it sounds like she's probably crying in there, but she's not letting anyone see it. It'll sink when she decomposes. It'll sink down. Have you ever walked across a graveyard before? It gets
The thing that
squishy.
happens.
I'm not typical.
Dips.
I'm used to bodies coming back, so I sort of dump them, dump some of the dirt back in. Then
Better.
All right, who needs a drink?
me.
That's kind of a constant state for me.
Lark
I
just walks
mean-
over and grabs a bottle off the shelf.
All right, I'm bartender. Come on, let's go.
I'll grab a second bottle as we leave. You were muted for that.
At this
Nick.
rate, Adele's wine cellar will be empty in about 3 weeks. Faster if you guys end up killing and burying more people here.
This is
Gotta make room, right?
This is what's called a practice run.
How far before we are amontillatoing them?
All right.
Amontillado.
But drinks
That one.
Yep.
drinks are had.
I'm
And-
just keeping everybody up, keeping everybody emotionally up. Moving back and forth. Yeah.
Megan seems to fit in. Surprisingly well, possibly to everybody except Phage. I don't know if any of the rest of you have really spent that much time with Spring Court people.
No.
But she's very present.
So you were actually nice, or is this pretend?
I mean, I like to think that it's not pretend. How's that?
Okay.
I've just always been a people person since I was a kid. Always got on really well with people. I just I like people. And I mean, since I got back, quote unquote, seems to be the way to go.
I'm bad at people.
Yeah, but you're good at a lot of other things. Not everybody has the same traits. Like, not everybody's good at the same things. And that's good because we need people who are good at the things that people like me are really, really goddamn bad at. Like, I couldn't fix anything to save my life, probably.
I'm good at that.
Yes, that's what I hear. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with not being great or not being really, really comfortable or dealing well with people. Honestly, a lot of times more useful to be good at, dealing with the things you deal with.
Also, Liz, apparently somebody's heard of you.
I know. This is fascinating.
I've just got one of the gears from that Foot Locker in a hand, and I'm just sort of spinning it around, like using all five fingers on the left hand to just sort of rotate it slowly, as if it was in a system and being rotated like a gear is supposed to be.
I had
It
a
always
dream.
Akujin, as you do this, it always catches. Which hand are you using?
Left hand.
Left or right?
Left hand.
Left hand. It always catches on your pinky, your leftmost finger of your left hand.
I use that as like the 0 point to start spinning it again. Like every time it catches, I just use it. I mentally set that's when the clock hits 0 and it starts the rotation again.
Yep. Like weirdly so. Like you've manipulated things with your hands a lot.
Yeah.
There's something weird about either the balance or just the nature of this gear. It's catching, you would swear, almost intentionally.
I'm just gonna think about that and focus on that rather than anything else.
No problem. Liz.
I had a weird dream last night.
Yeah.
That Akujin had too.
Yep.
I met Gracie.
He was big.
Hands. Fingers. Wait.
Gracie's the dead bitch walking, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The what?
The answer is yes, Liz. That's
Yeah. The one
Okay.
y'all are gonna kill.
yes.
I tried that. It didn't work.
Ah. Yeah.
In a dream,
You
no, it
were
wouldn't
in a
typically.
dream.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
It was still a dream. I mean,
She's-
I'm not an expert on dreams, but I would assume
What?
you can't kill someone in one.
Yes, you can.
I stand corrected then. See, another thing you're good at that I'm not.
I would assume, however, it's not super easy to do.
No.
There.
Shh. I learned a little bit about her.
Anything useful?
She's scared of being alone, family, finding others, and blame.
He's scared of blame. Being
Mhm.
blamed for something.
Yes. Maybe.
Huh.
That's useful, actually. That's very
Yeah.
We
useful.
also know what she looks like. Well, if that was accurate.
Red haired.
Also 700 feet tall.
The height's probably not so relevant.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
that's probably
say,
the dream.
I hope that's the dream. Even I can't kick the ass of something that's 700 feet tall. I give it a good
very
go,
big.
but
Made of sand.
If she's spread out, that makes things look bigger. Like,
Yeah.
but that means it's shallow, like a puddle, because it could be deep or it can be wide.
I gather
So-
your meaning, yeah.
It felt
Mhm.
like it felt like the dream was made of her. When I first started, when I
Yep,
first,
that's what dreams are.
well, no, when I first became aware of it, I was rising through sand, and the sand that I was rising through was her finger, and it was the same sand that then smothered me at the end of it and woke me up. Like,
sand.
not like it wasn't like it was a dream and she was in it. It was like she was the dream.
All right. I'm not an expert on dreams, but I do have well, I don't anymore. I don't think many of us go to therapists after, everything, but I did have a therapist.
You'd have to find a changeling therapist. I don't think any of us are really fit to be one.
Yeah, no, and you certainly don't want to go and I want to be really honest about, what my insecurity and my issues are, but I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, anyways, I did have one and he did do some dream stuff because what therapist doesn't, let's be honest.
The last therapist I talked to, I killed.
All right, moving past that.
No.
Sand is generally instability. It's not solid ground. It's
Shift.
sand shifts, sand goes away, sand disappears
in
under your
pieces.
feet. You fall into sand. So if we're assuming that sort of logic carries through, I don't know what that means. I'm just throwing it out there.
It's not always logic.
No, that's not
Fairy
logical
tale
at all right
logic.
there. So,
But no, I gather your meaning. Something about that could
Sand.
theoretically have been an implication of something being unstable about the situation.
She also had
I
a,
don't know, Gracie.
she also had a
Yeah.
crown.
I mean, she's known as Queen Gracie, so I'd expect the crown.
Silver crown made of briars and thorns. It kind of looked like it was
Here's a question.
silvered edge.
Do you know whose dream you were in? Was it yours, or hers?
Mm,
Give me a wits and occult -3.
I have no idea.
Sure, I'll make that roll.
It's
Let me spend some willpower.
a cult. Oh, look. That's a chance die.
Can I spend a willpower on that one? You're
Aw.
muted.
Not on that one. Nope.
Okay.
I
No
got
worries.
a 9 on my chance die.
So
-3. 2.
Nice.
if you had to guess, Liz,
Mhm.
probably yours.
Mine.
So here's the question then. Do you think that the fact that you were able to learn things and you're confident about the things you learn suggests that you think that was actually her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think what you saw, the crown, the sand, things like that, were how you perceive her or how she perceives herself? Because it's the dream. It's you appear. It's very self-image or perception based generally.
Maybe.
Could she have been taking your idea of her?
Maybe. Maybe it was a reflection. I don't. There are pattern similarities.
Liz, do you still have that book?
Yes.
Can I read it?
Why?
I just want to check something.
Okay, be careful. Don't dog ear it. Don't smudge it. I'll hand it very carefully
I will
over.
not dog ear or smudge it. Jack, I want to go through all the...
Or set it on fire, or
I'm not the one who set it on fire.
The number of conditions just keeps going as you start
Um,
paging through the book.
You were
Or set it
involved.
on
Close
fire,
enough.
or put it in water, or drop it in a toilet.
I wanna
or
go
use it to
through the-
prop up your car to fix a spare tire.
I
or...
want to go through all the completed stories that are
Okay.
in it and see if any of them have any resemblance to any events that we have gone through or have heard about happening. And I just want to see, like, I want to see if there are any, like, one-to-one correlations between events in the book and events that I know have happened,
Okay.
and how many of
give-
them there are.
Give me an intelligence and either investigation or academics.
Can I spend a willpower on this?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a chance die. Hang on.
Oh, and we lost.
Who did we lose? Holly.
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 Holly. Oh no.
One success.
One success. Not really.
Okay.
None of these seem to have a direct,
Even like a euphemistic,
Association, right,
correlation.
mhm.
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, none of them really have anything that you could directly draw, even in parallels. I mean, all of them seem more in keeping with sort of the kind of stories that you just tell a kid when a kid says, "Hey, tell me a story," and not like, they seem very kind of extemporaneous, made up off the cuff.
Yeah.
Just, sort of. Yeah.
She said she thinks her foot hit a cord, her computer turned off. She'll be back.
Oops.
We've
no.
all been there.
Yep.
After going do it, I'll close it and hand it back to Liz. No, that didn't work.
So,
Thanks.
what do we know that we can use currently? And what, if we don't know, what do we need to know? Sorry, I'm coming into this. I've gotten sort of a little bit of the gist from Larkin, a little bit from you all last night.
We know,
But
we know she's trying to build a family.
mm-hmm.
We know she's killing mundanes to do it.
She's
And hacking
building-
It's fucked up.
parts.
She's building hobgoblins.
And controlling a vast army of them.
The Goblin Queen.
We know her name at least is associated with a kid that went missing, presumably like we all did at one point.
Mhm. There's no news. There's no pictures of her in the newspaper.
Like they're not there or they were removed.
Like
Like they were never there or
absorbed form to help.
Potentially either.
fair. Okay. Probably not horribly relevant. Just I'm gonna ask questions, and some of them won't be relevant. Just because
Now-
you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, listen, I know what, or at least have an idea of what she looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Willa and Aiden may be allies or
I don't-
something.
I don't know those names.
Do those names match up with the names of her parents, Jack?
No.
Okay.
Her parents' names, which you would have found. Lana and Darren Arundel.
Are those either of the names that, or did we hear any names other than Gracie in the memories that we dreamed about?
No. Gracie's was the only name that was verbally mentioned. There was reference made to her mother,
Yeah.
and that it was her mother's birthday. But in terms of...
We know the Hobbs are well organized under her.
Okay.
Paige and I did some research into her
Competent.
actual life history a bit, found the address of both of her parents. They seem to have split up after their daughter disappeared.
Happens.
That's different.
So that
So-
means there wasn't a fetch put in place.
She wouldn't have been a missing person if there was a fetch put in place.
Well, I
Or there
mean,
was a fetch put in place and the fetch just died, because sometimes that might happen, because it's still
Or you do
people
a fetch,
can still get hit by cars, and
Yeah.
or you do a fetch for the body or something.
or that.
But a body was never found, theoretically?
No.
Mhm.
She was never found. So
Okay,
either
So,
a fetch
regardless.
got kidnapped or they didn't use a fetch.
right.
We need to know. Like, we have an idea of what her objective is, but we don't actually know for sure what it is. Like, build a family is very vague. Is she meaning to, like, I assume based on
Build.
what has been happening that she means to physically build a family, but that could
Mhm.
not be, that could be incorrect. That's an assumption.
Seems like a good guess, though.
I mean, educated guess, but still a guess.
Yeah.
We need to know
There's-
where she's based at, if anywhere.
All right. So next steps. Go talk to the parents.
That's one potential lead if we think we can get any more information out of the real side.
Like, what information would we get, though? Maybe a picture,
Actual picture.
confirmation.
Circumstances around the disappearance could be
Location.
relevant.
Yeah, location of the disappearance might
Like a
lead us to
ton, a
location.
ton of shit.
We do know that a lot of the attacks were coming from outside the keyhold. Like except for the most recent one, they were all from outside the keyhold.
From outside or to out?
From outside, they were coming in. They were pouring out of. Jack, what was the area that the Margravit was defending that we had to go help with?
That was basically just beyond the Beltway.
Yeah, just south, wasn't it?
So
the
that particular invasion was at the 95-695 interchange, yeah, which is kind of southwest.
Yeah, the most recent
Boundary.
except for the most recent attack, the one before that was coming from down south outside the Beltway.
So you mean literally they were taking place outside?
No, they were entering the real outside the keyhold and then coming into the keyhold to attack.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which
Makes sense.
might indicate a base of operation directionality wise.
oh yeah, no, for sure. That's something that should be done.
Yeah.
Set up a Google Maps, plot everything out.
Doing up things on the internet can be dangerous.
And if we can find out where she disappeared from, we might be able to narrow
Delete
down.
it immediately. It's fine.
And we find out where she disappeared from, or where the human Gracie disappeared from.
Harlan Park?
Arlen Park.
Hanlon Park.
Jack, I'm just gonna look up that park on my phone and see where it is in
Let me see if I
relation to
know
where the
anything
attacks have been coming from.
Do I know anything about Hanlon Park?
As far as that goes, give me a intelligence and streetwise.
And I'm looking it up on my phone.
Okay. So I'm adding +1 here because I don't get negative. I don't lose points for social stuff because of my. Just in case you're wondering why it's in there.
Okay.
2 successes.
Oh yeah, it is past midnight.
With 2 successes, Hamlin Park is so it's not like a city park. It's more like a local neighborhood park.
Okay.
It's located in West Baltimore.
Okay.
It's kind of like one of those places there's a playground, there's a little bit of a dog park, kind of one of those community places. Doesn't have the
Mhm.
same funding that like something like Druid Hills or one of the larger city parks would have, you know, Patterson or that sort of thing. So it's more like a little neighborhood green space, kind of in the Winchester Mosher area.
Okay. Is it known for being a particularly sketchy place, a place where people disappear much?
With 2 successes,
Because
it's
you
a
just
little,
described.
yeah, it's a little sketchy. Like it used to be nice.
Yeah. You just
Um,
described how every true crime podcast starts.
Right.
I know the area.
Okay.
It's not the nicest place. It's not awful. It's a little sketchy. It's gone downhill. Insert every other thing that you would say about a local park in the area, and that's going to apply here. Is what I'm trying to say. There's nothing incredibly special about it.
Yeah.
Can I take a look at the? This is gonna try and look at your phone for the Google Maps or whoever had pulled it up.
Yeah,
I think-
I'm trying to pull it up.
Yeah.
And
It's
as I get the cameras fixed, I no longer need
Yay!
it fixed.
Welcome back.
Now I've got to fix.
This
the
is basically
cameras
doing your
again.
triangulating thing
Yep.
of like how that fits in with the parks that we have mentioned with Aquagene and figuring out the Squire stuff,
Yeah.
and then also like neighborhoods we've been in and like where Lys's family is, because she does know that address. I just don't have that written down in this notebook, and I don't want to go find my other one.
No problem.
Yeah.
In terms of that, it's honestly the only things that would be kind of close by in that area, in that region that you can think of, Liz.
Mhm.
It's not in the same neighborhood, but it's towards the end of the city, similar region of where the Green Wall Motley had their hollow,
Okay.
where you found Kalinag's body
Okay.
last
Okay,
summer.
Hamlin or Hanlon?
Hanlon, Hanlon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we
Kind
go.
of towards that rough area, but much more north.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I see.
It's up a little bit, kind of across from Druid Hill Park, which is where that Rawlings Conservatory is.
So
Okay.
potentially very near where that battleground might exist.
Yeah.
This might all be
Yeah.
more connected than we thought it was.
Maybe.
I mean, it would make sense.
I want to go there.
Which one?
All of them?
Well,
Um,
we know there exists a Trod in at least one of these locations.
Really?
Yeah. Well, hopefully we've got. I pull out the notes for the Trod map that we have, and lay it down. Many years ago, there was a member of the Squires of the Broken Bow named Walter Gray, who patrolled the Keyhold before it was officially Keyhold. He and
Okay.
several others disappeared into the hedge once without ever coming back. I went investigating one of his old hangouts and found what may have at one point in time been his hollow. And on a trod leaving it, I found a journal of his, sort of a small cache, and this map which notes a Rollins Trod, which there is a Rollins Conservatory in that park.
Right.
It's next to the park where she disappeared.
Right.
And as Akujin says this, Megan, you watch him as he's spinning this gear around his left hand, and he suddenly drops it, and it tink tink down onto the floor. Is that footlocker still in your Jeep?
Yes.
Rolls along the floor out of the room, and you all just sort of sit there listening, waiting
Stand
for it
up
to do
and-
that, kind of spinny clatter to the floor thing. It doesn't. You just hear it keep rolling, rolling, rolling,
I'm following
and
it.
yeah.
then tink
I'm also following it.
into the door that leads into the garage. And that's where we're going to close for the night.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.